Okay. Um. So that was a lot. So I have been sitting in this parking lot for the past 10 or 15 minutes trying to gather my thoughts on essentially how I'm going to explain my thoughts to you guys about this movie. And due to the extremely bad reviews, the only thing you really want to know is this movie as bad as the reviews are saying? And I mean, there's a part of me that wants to say no, it's not as bad as people are saying, but then again, there's like another part of me that goes, yeah, it is, but but it's really just due to the fact that this movie is a lot. I mean, for me personally, the movie is everything everywhere all at once. No, I'm not comparing it to the movie. I literally mean the plot, premise, and presentation of this film is everything everywhere all at once. Because I feel like the movie knows what it wants to say, I guess, but it doesn't necessarily know how to say it. And it actually sucks because there are some very deep, thoughtful ideas given in the film. They never follow through on any of them though. It's like they will hit you with something very deep and thoughtful and insightful with this premise, and then the very next thing that happens makes you completely forget that they even tried to say something deep. I mean, the movie at some points in times just wants to be weird to be weird. It's like, yes, it's a horror movie, and yes, it's supposed to have some like crazy ritual, demonic, crazy satanic stuff going on, but it's like, again, I think it just gets very lost in all of that, and it just becomes, again, just way too much, or as I've been saying, a lot. But before I talk about how this movie completely splittered my mind into almost 1,000 pieces, let me talk about what I liked about the movie. So essentially, I did think that the first 20 to 25 minutes started off pretty strongly because, I mean, for me, I played sports growing up. Did I have aspirations to want to be the GOAT? No, because I found out very early I wasn't about to be no GOAT in sports, but I really enjoyed playing them. But essentially, I did grow up with kids who had those aspirations and could have that potential and could possibly be, maybe not the GOAT, but damn good and possibly be league bound. The thing about it was, I really enjoyed how this movie literally set you into this world where a kid with this kind of stature and status of being the number one pick, being called or claimed the next GOAT, and having all that pressure can just feel like so much. Like, there is a scene in the beginning of the movie where the dude is literally just like, he's gone through a very bad concussion, and honestly, it was weird as hell how it happened, but they explained it at the end, I guess. But then, essentially, like, his phone is going off, there's so many people blowing up, showing him love or fake love, he's got his family in his ear, he's got his girlfriend, he's just got so much noise around him, and he's having so much pressure on his shoulders to perform a certain way for the combine, and his agents trying to get him to do some things. It's just so much pressure and so much going on. I'm like, okay, I can understand how we are about to get to where we get to. And then when we get to what I can only describe as the end of the first quarter of this movie, when Marlon Wayans shows up, again, I'm still pretty intrigued, I'm still pretty interested, because Marlon Wayans is giving a pretty damn good performance. I'll talk about the latter half of his performance later, but essentially, I do think he came off pretty strong, and I was very interested in the dynamic and the interest that he took in this kid to essentially try to make him his protege and make him the next GOAT. I was interested in all that. Then we start to get to the second quarter of this movie, and that's when essentially the movie starts to go off the rails just a little bit. Now, it goes a lot of bit afterwards, but it's starting to go off the rails just a little bit, but it never necessarily threw me for a loop. There are some things that happen in the movie horror-wise that is completely random, out of nowhere, and it's like, okay, I understand that you're supposed to be a horror movie, but like there's just stuff happening here that y'all aren't even trying to explain at all. It's like, if someone were to ask you why you put this here, the explanation that you would give, it seems, as the director of this movie, would be because I wanted to. And it's like, okay, if that's how you feel. As I stated before, the movie presents some very good ideas within its premise. Like, essentially, there's one line that Marlon Wayans has that says, because I'm a black quarterback, like, I had to be great just to be good. So imagine what I had to do to be the GOAT. Like, that line hit crazy. That was a very good line. And they have like very good lines afterwards. But again, my issue with it is the fact that these lines don't go anywhere. It's like they present some very good ideas and some very good, like, essentially things that they could build off of, but they don't build off of them. But I'll also say this. I did very much enjoy Marlon Wayans in this role. He goes very off the rails in the second half of this movie after halftime, which I'll talk about in a second. But, I mean, essentially, it's not his fault. It's just because the movie just wants to go off the rails to be off the rails. Tyreek Withers, I didn't think he did a bad job at all. Granted, this is his second movie I've seen him in where I did not necessarily enjoy the movie like that. I Know What You Did Last Summer is definitely a lot worse. But again, it's not his fault. It's just the fact that the movie, again, as I can only describe it, I think it knows what it wants to say. It definitely shows, like, promise of knowing what it wants to say. It just doesn't know how to say it at all, and it just becomes a very convoluted mess. So after halftime, going into the third and fourth quarter of this movie, unfortunately, as a fan of this team, this is the only way I can describe it, and it pains me so much to say this. It felt like a Ravens playoff performance where I don't even recognize the team I'm watching anymore. Like honestly, before that, the performance against the damn Bills, like literally when I'm watching a Ravens clusterfuck collapse, where it's like I don't even know what team I'm watching. For some odd reason, I think John Harbaugh was behind this movie. I don't know, John. I know you had something to do with this shit because it's a literal representation of your coaching methods. Just completely and utter just uselessness. Just nothing. The second half of this movie, like, it just wants to be whatever. I was sitting here like, all right, I get it. It's a horror movie. It's demonic. It's ritualistic. It's trying to do a lot, but why? Why is any of this, like, why is any of this going on? You just want to be crazy to be crazy, and it's like, yo, there's no, I don't know if I'm saying this necessarily, but there's a lot of substance, no depth. No depth whatsoever, and it sucks because it actually has a lot to work with. The best way that I can describe this, as far as I've been describing it thus far, somebody said, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. Problem is, it's the wrong puzzle. That's the best way. Yeah, that was a great way to describe it. On top of that, let me just talk about this. Julia Fox. The entire time I'm watching Julia Fox in this movie, I am literally thinking to myself, there is no way in hell this is the same woman that had all of us going batshit crazy after Uncut Gems. After Uncut Gems, Julia Fox was like, we were talking about Julia Fox like she was freaking Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street. We were foaming at the mouth. At least guys were. Girls probably were too. But Julia Fox had completely lost me in this movie. The more she kept popping up, the weirder and crazier, and not in a good way, the movie got. It was like, yo, the more she keeps showing up, the worse this movie is getting. Stop putting Julia Fox in this damn movie. By the end of it, it just completely goes off the rails, and you're just sitting there. Honestly, you're really ready to run out of the theater. Me, I was kind of stuck, because it's like, again, I want to say this movie is not as bad as people were saying, but I can't. Because I can definitely see why people would hate this. I mean, I didn't necessarily hate it, and it definitely has some strong, I would say some strong messages like that it wants to say, but it just like, nothing sticks. It doesn't stick at all. It's just like, you kind of wasted your potential here, Doc. Like, god damn. I didn't necessarily think I had to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, just in case you didn't know. Jordan Peele did not direct this movie. I'm not trying to throw the director under the bus or anything like that. I just need, like, the director's name is Justin Tipping, but I just need people to know Jordan Peele produced this movie. Granted, he wanted weapons, and for a good damn reason, and he had to settle for this. And I'm sorry, Jordan, but I know you sick as hell right now that Weapons is doing so well, or it did so well, if it might still be in theaters. It did phenomenal. You got stuck with him. I'm sorry. I know that mother is pissed.